Hi, this is Felipe Osorio, and welcome to Second Earth Alternative. First, I want to start out by saying that this episode is not for the faint of heart. If you're affected by alien stories, let alone true alien stories, then I recommend changing to another episode. Worse than a horror movie, the things that I'm going to be revealing to you are actually real. And if you listen to these case studies to the very end, this episode may very well change the way you see alien phenomenon. I know it changed mine. But first I wanted to discuss something very personal regarding alien abductions. Now I don't want to be too specific with this information, but what I can say is that between one of my closest friends and one of my closest family members, there is one person that I know personally who is very dear to me who has actually experienced alien abduction since the age of 5. Now this person has a very high degree and is a well-respected individual in their field of study. And I know I'm not the only person who knows somebody who may have gone through what is commonly called the alien abduction scenario. So in this episode, I wanted to reveal the amazing stories and evidence I came across from the brave individuals who emailed me. Now I want to start out by saying, yes, there were patterns and unexpected coincidences. There were eerie details that were repeated between cases that seemed absolutely inexplicable to me. Never did I really get the impression that somebody was attempting to pull my leg. For the most part, most of the people seemed reticent to tell their stories at first. And in replying to their stories, they became progressively more willing to open up, asking nothing in return but to be heard. So what I wanted to do was separate the individual cases by corresponding letters, A, B, C, and D, since I promised to keep everybody anonymous. Also, these accounts are so remarkable that I thought it would only be just if I allowed the words to be told the very way that they were written to me. Now there's going to be a few minor deletions just for the purpose of brevity, but outside of that, everything is going to be the words of the abductees. So I think these accounts are going to put you in a little bit on the edge of your seat because I know that it did that for me. Just so you know, all the names have been altered for anonymity purposes. Alright, so let's start off by reading what happened with Case A. Case A writes, "To wake up in the middle of the night was never a possibility for me. Once sleep took me, no way would I wake up, not even drenched in sweat. But woke I did, with my feet tingling. I could feel this humming vibration on in them. I thought I was having some sort of attack or stroke. This vibration quickly spread up my back and arms. I couldn't move or call out to wake up Jeremy, my boyfriend. All I could do was move my eyes. And the thought of him waking up next to a corpse just upset me. I quickly realized the room was filled with lights from where I couldn't tell. At best, I just scanned the room. I mean, I noticed at least 2 of them, maybe even a third, standing next to me by the bed. They looked like the ones from the cover of Communion. At this point, my heart felt like bursting through my chest. I thought I was yelling, but I'm sure I wasn't. You're gonna kill me. Please stop. Go away. Then a voice in my head said, we're not. You must go to sleep. Let us help you. Go to sleep. I would have none of it. I got even more upset when I couldn't have anything but my eyes. I was getting more furious, and all the while I could feel my heart beat even faster. Please, don't hurt Jeremy. We don't want him. There's no love in him, so he's no use to us. But you already know this. Please stop the vibration. It will help you sleep. I feel like my chest is going to burst. You must stop. We are back because you've been helping us, and you promised to help people. Remember? Yes, but the deal's off. Leave. We need your help to save people. I was then taken over with sleep. They allowed me to remember, I assume, because then I remembered parts of earlier episodes. They started visiting me since the age of 5 and 7, or something between 5 and 7 years old. They would subject me to cycles of pain and happiness. I mean, I could sense their sadness and concern when the bad pain was coming. I could hear some kind of strain in their voice and in my head, and when they would say, we're sorry, but now comes the bad time. Their words, let us know when you're ready. It felt like a rod was inserted in my spinal cord, and I felt every second of it. I couldn't see anything, they wouldn't allow it, but horrific physical pain aside, there was something even worse. The feeling of being put into this endless void. I mean, they isolated me from everything, from existence, and I couldn't feel their presence. It was unbearable. I cried and screamed, but no one could possibly hear. As some reward, they asked me if I wanted something for them. I asked them for trips to the Amazon forest, and that they delivered. Perhaps it was some implanted memory, but I could fly to any sector of it by simply wishing it. I felt such joy and ecstasy, and I mean complete happiness. The wall in front of me would just vanish when the craft moved, and I could see this beautiful green forests. In the late 80s, they told me that the ecological pyramid was fractured in 2 places, and the collapse was already in motion due to our pollution and us being poor stewards of this planet. And of an asteroid hit in the Atlantic Ocean, resulting in the deaths of billions in my lifetime. Crying and desperate, I asked them if they were going to do that to us and why. They didn't answer. When I looked directly in their eyes, the most profound sadness and shame flooded me. Yes, I could feel love emanating from them as well, but my own guilt I could not overcome. Even now, thinking of it brings me to tears. That makes me almost bring me to tears. So if you guys weren't amazed by that count, wait till you see the pictures that this individual shot with their Nikon camera of these strange planes that seemed to apparently hover over this person's house after the abductions took place. Now, I'm really amazed that she was able to produce this kind of evidence, because let me tell you something. Since the show has started, nobody has sent me anything like this. I've never received this type of evidence. So why don't I just show you guys what she gave us. So right over here, she basically was telling me how after the abduction cases, these strange planes fly over her house. And so she decided to take her Nikon camera and took a picture of this. And check out what she got over here. So here is the plane, apparently. But, sorry, 1 second. There you go. Look at that. Is that really a plane? I mean, I don't see any windows. Do you? And look, I looked this up, right, to see if there's any other type of planes that don't have windows. There's something called the Ixiom jet. That thing doesn't come out till like 2025. It's still in its conceptual stages. And even if it were to be out, this plane still has front-facing windows. This has nothing. So, and this is not the only picture. I mean, check out this one. Look at that. And then here's a third one. And you see it's a completely different angle. So, whatever this abductee captured, this abductee A, not that she just have an amazing, fantastical story, but she has provided some of the best evidence that I've come across, because I've never seen this in my entire life. This is just, to me, new technology. At the best scenario, if just a drone, the question still lingers. What the hell is the drone doing flying in a civilian American neighborhood? Alright guys, time to move on to the next case, case B. So this person originally wrote me this. For about 27 years I have wanted to know more. My search has taken me to many. I went to the MUFON off record to talk with them, briefly spoke with Paul, that's Paul Hellyer, the former Minister of Defense for Canada, Colin Andrews, Circle Research, Michael Bird, letters to Congressman Stephen Schiff. I briefly met Bud Hopkins. I'm fully willing to take a lie detector test to prove that I'm not making any of the story up. What I have seen has changed my life. Now don't get me wrong, I'm no tinfoil head. I've never taken street drugs. I don't seek attention. I have a happy, successful family life. Okay, so in response to being asked about a possible asteroid strike that I asked him, as was mentioned by the first abductee, abductee A, this is what he said. I have had a dream of palm-sized lava rocks raining down from the sky with nowhere else to hide for the people. Something is gonna happen, but I'm just not sure exactly what. Here's his account. Awoke seeing a dark blackness in my room and could not understand why at about 11ish in the morning, even with a small basement window, I couldn't see 3 feet in front of me to my bedroom closet. I opened my eyes wider without moving, puzzled as to why it was so black. Then my eyes came into focus and realized there was something right in front of my face that was black, and I focused in and shot my head back and saw the face, just briefly, of a long-faced gray. It was only for a glance, and I think I recall seeing wrinkles in the skin. Now I realize why people call them grays. To me, it seems logical that those that see the beings in darkness would see them as gray. In more light, I think you'll find that they are white, as I witnessed. Although the one that I first saw, that I only saw for a glance, did have a longer, more narrow face and wrinkled skin that did appear grayer. I awoke literally nose to nose, eye to eye. It stayed in my face without moving until my focus finally adjusted and I realized I wasn't looking into a dark room, but directly into the eyes of that being. I jerked back so fast and then everything went black. And then I came to in pretty much the same position with a female bird claw-like being in a white cloak that included a veil from its forehead to its chin that was thin enough to see the darkness behind. Now looking towards the chin, the skin was copper brown. It had me paralyzed and I couldn't move as it pushed a rich tank-like tube up my right nostril. The pain was unreal and I tried to move my head back away but couldn't move, then blacked out to find myself sitting up in the bed, looking at the bottom of the bed to a typical short gray and black tight suit and white skin. I thought I was gonna die. My heart was beating so hard in my chest and I was looking for a way to tell myself that I was dreaming so that I could try to take control of the situation. The one on the side of the bed while I was paralyzed was communicating with a voice in my head and it only said, "Stay calm, stay calm, stay calm," 3 times, pausing in between. Now, very near to that exact location, there were several teen guys that went missing and have never to this day been found. It's literally a 5-minute walk or so from where my brother and I experienced missing time. So, this abductee, guys, I can tell you he is pretty convinced that whatever's happening to him is seems like a nefarious thing. And he really believes that some of these aliens have been essentially abducting people and kind of not returning them. Pretty amazing, actually. Every single one of the abductees that I have who've shared the stories have some kind of corresponding images or evidence to kind of highlight their story. So with this case, case B, I wanted to show you some of the, well, first of all, he has this cell phone picture right here. This is actually what he's claiming is possibly the UFOs that are associated with his abductions. And so it's not the best image, the fidelity is a little bit low, but it does show an object over here that's very strange. And when I increase the size and alter the channel mixer, you can see that it's a very solid object. This thing it's not an artifact and it's not an airplane. So yeah, man, I believe you. I think there's something very interesting to your story and to these images. Outside of this orb, he also wanted to show us some of the hand marks that he's getting. And I've had friends who've shown me images of their marks, and they're always either a triangle, like a perfect triangle, a perfect square, or a perfect circle from my personal experience. So this is not the only image. I think he has one more over here. And then here is another one of the exact same scar that he suspects could have been created by the alien abductions. So yeah, okay, yeah. Sorry, sometimes I have a hard time looking at this stuff because it's like, it's deep, man. It's some heavy stuff, you know?